It's been a wonderful experience so far. I was invited personally by NASCAR on behalf of Carl Edwards because of the relationship that I have with Carl. Carl actually taught me how to drive a stock car a few years ago in a promotion we did up in Charlotte. And I've been slowly being involved with NASCAR. I started a race at Pocono. I've been in a race in Atlanta, a race at Charlotte. I'm a fan beyond everything else. And it was pretty much a perfect storm as, you know, Daytona kicks off the Sprint Cup season here, and we have an enormous event in Miami on April 1st. That's our WrestleMania. And the events kind of coincide. This is a giant event for NASCAR. WrestleMania is a giant event for us. So I was chosen to start the Great American Race.
We know you're training. Any adjustments in your training regimen to wave the green flag for today?
I've been working on the 5 arms. I may have to tape the flag to my hand. The one thing that all of my friends have told me, and it's almost like put pressure on me to scare me, is do not drop the flag. But all the drivers have convinced me that it's going to be fine. Keep in mind, folks, and I know this is a fantastic media headline, you can't run the race unless you start the race. So my job today is the most important.
Excellent. We're going to open it up for questions. Please raise your hand. We'll bring the wireless mic to you. We'll start with Dwight.
Dwight Drama, RaceTape.com. Obviously, you're talking about a show, and you're coming to one of the biggest shows, obviously, in the business type thing. Could you draw a correlation between your showmanship and the showmanship of drivers?
They run parallel. The presentation and the production that NASCAR puts on is definitely something that is WWE worthy. Here in WWE, we pride ourselves on the fan experience, and there is no better organized sport than NASCAR. These fans get the ultimate experience. They get to be close to the drivers. They get to see their favorite superstars, and when the stuff starts going and when the cars start going around, they truly are so attached to their superstars. That's what draws hundreds of thousands of people on race day. That's why NASCAR is so popular. That's why it's so loved nationwide, the world over, is because of their ability to give the fans the access to the superstars. I think that's something that runs very parallel with WWE.
Hi, John. Randy Covert's Kansas City Star. Carl Edwards seems to be everywhere, up in the sky with the Thunderbirds.
Yep.
Now, tell me about your relationship. How did all that start?
Well, it's amazing you say that. Carl and I kind of share the same work ethic. I think he's as dedicated to this sport as everyone. There's a lot of drivers out there that can drive no matter what they're in, but Carl is dedicated not only to drive well, but to promote the sport as well. I think he's done an unbelievable job there. He's a face that NASCAR should be proud of. And we just kind of hit it off. It was actually he was my coach at a promotion for Gillette. He taught me how to drive a stock car. And I was very iffy about NASCAR, but we actually got to talking. He's a great guy, and he introduced me to the sport, and now I'm hooked.
Go right here to Bruce. Oh, sorry. We'll go to Jeff, then to Bruce. Jeff.
John, Jeff Weiland with the News Journal.
Yep.
Any
thoughts? You got more questions? I sat down with him privately yesterday. He asked me about 150 questions, but I'm glad you got one more. That's good.
Got one for you. The NASCAR drivers, after they get done with their careers, any of them that would make good professional wrestlers?
Carl Edwards would be a WWE champion. I saw him come in cold, take the steering wheel off a stock car, get out of the thing, climb up to the top turnbuckle, and do his signature backflip and land it like an Olympic gymnast in the middle of the WWE in the ring. He would be a future WWE champion.
Anything else?
I do like Tony Stewart's ability to talk trash, though. I think Smoke's got a future in the WWE as well.
Go back to George Diaz at the Atlanta Sentinel, way in the back there. Okay, I might come in, George.
Hi, John. Back here. George Diaz with the Orlando Sentinel. I know Carl's a big workout guy. Did you give him any training tips or anything?
There's a few guys in NASCAR that try to stay fit, but even, and this is no offense, they got to be a certain height and weight to drive the cars. Even the biggest NASCAR drivers are they're lacking in the size and strength category. So Carl can take advices from me on as far as strength and conditioning, but he's actually one of the drivers that really pushes for being as healthy as he can on race day. It's a different type of training. He's got to sit in a metal box for hours on end. It's staying hydrated, you know, making sure you're in prime physical shape for more of an endurance. Me, I get to go out there and be as strong as I can for, you know, try to knock a guy out with one punch.